Okay, great.
I'm going to do that. If I ever go on mute, you have to tell me, okay? Because, okay, I don't know what happened the last time. Jai Ho, Gurudeva, please be with me when I speak something in your honor. Shri Shri Guru Garanga, Gandavikari, Giridhari, Radha, Vinod Bihari Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Om Vishpara Satarastata Shishimat, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Raj Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Om Vishpara Satarastata Shishimat, Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Om Vishpara Satarastata Shishimat, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Om Vishpara Satarastata Shishimat, Bhakti Pragan Kesava Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Om Vishpara Satarastata Shishimat, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Param Bhagavat Para Shri Srila Gaurkishora Dasa Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Shri Srila Satchitananda Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Nityalila Pravista Vaisnava Savna Bhuma Shri Jagannath Dasa Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Srila Baladev Vitrupasuna Prabhu Ki Jai. Srila Vishnatha Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai. Srila Narottama Srinivasa Shamananda Prabhu Taraya Ki Jai. Srila Krishna Dasa Kevi Raja Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanata Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarupa Damodara Ray Ramanandi Shri Gurupasada Brinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prema Sekeo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasidi Gaura Bhatta Brinda Ki Jai. Shri Antardripa Mayapur Smantadripa Godarum Drip Matarum Drip Kola Dripa Rudra Drip Jana Drip Mataramaka Drip Rudramaka Sri Nabadrip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gokavardhan Dhamavasa Brahmaka Sri Braj Mandala Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shamakunda Ganga Yamuna Tulsi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Srimati Brinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Sudan Chakra Ki Jai. Shri Keshra Mandala Ki Jai. Savarigna Vinasakari Shri Nishingadev Ki Jai. Bhatta Pravasi Pramaj Ki Jai. Karadams Ki Jai. Kara Sampradaya Ki Jai. Kare Acharya Ki Jai. Ankara Mata Raja Shri Chaitanya Mata Ki Jai. Shri Keshavaji Gauriya Mat Ki Jai. Om Tat Sat Tat Mat Sumahi Ki Jai. Grantha Raj Shri Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Krishna Vaishta Brinda Ki Jai. Samagata Bhatta Brinda Ki Jai. Si Nitai Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Page 45 in the songbook.
Right.
And Yashodhari Didi has sent the link. It's Ki Rupe Paibo Seva. Ki Rupe Paibo Seva. Muhi Dura Ki Rupe Paibo Seva. Muhi Dura Shri Guru Vaishnava Rati Nahaila Amar Shri Guru Vaishnava Rati Nahaila Amar Ashesha Maya Te Mana Magana Haila Ashesha Maya Te Mana Magana Haila Vaishnavya Telesha Matra Ratina Jamila Vaishnavya Telesha Matra Ratina न जामिलो विषये बोलिया अंधा होइनु दीवानिशी विषये बोलिया अंधा होइनु दीवानिशी गाले फांसा दीते फिरे माया से दिशाची गाले फांसे दीते फिरे माया से दिशाची हरे करिया जाया चरण ना जाए हरे करिया जाया चरण ना जाए साधु कृपा विनय नहीं को उपाय साधु कृपा बिना आरा नहीं को उपाय आदोष धरशी प्रभु पतित उद्धार अधोष दरशी प्रभु पतित उद्धार हे बारांगारा तम करो निष्ठा पाइब सेवा मुई दूर रूपे पाइब सेवा मुई दूर श्री गुरु वैष्णवे राति न हईल আমার শ্রী গুরু বৈষ্ণবে রাতে না হইল আমার জয় গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय प्रभुपदा 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 गुरु परंपरा 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 निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Shila Gurudev ki jai,
Jai.
Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai,
Jai.
Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai,
Jai.
Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai
Jai.
Go Premanandi, Hari Bol.
Haribol. Haribol.
Haribol.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Radhika Didi. Every week you come and sing bhajan so beautifully. Thank you so much. And thank you for the beautiful Jayadwani Sundaranandan. Absolutely beautiful. Franchikalpa Turvischa, Kripa Sundavicha, Patitanam Pavanabhyo, Vaishnavabhyo, Namanamaha. Om Gyantiramandasya, Gyanjana Salakya, Chakshumilitamyana, Tashmai Shigirve Namaha. Srinada Pisunichuna, Tarora Pisahishnuna, Amanina Manadina, Gitni Sadani, Tate Nukampam Susamiksham, Unjana Ivatma Kritam Vipakam, Hitvakapu Bividam Namaste, Jivata Yomukti Padesadaya Bak, Anya Blasta Sunyam, Gyan Kamadana Vritam, Anukalenya Kishnu Shilanam, Bhakti Uttama, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadada, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Good morning, good early morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My darling God brothers, God sisters, God fathers, God mothers, God daughters and sons. I was told the other day, God cousins and aunties and uncles. Hello and welcome to our 18th session of glorifying Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, coming up for his 100th appearance day. It is now 31st of January. Next week is the 7th of February. Next week will be the last glorification before his actual appearance day. We're going all the way to the end of 2021, but we're like almost the sun is coming up now. We're so close to his 100th appearance day. It is like astonishing that we're arriving at this moment almost, and you can feel the Bhakti Shakti coming through everyone's hearts. I can feel it through so many sevaks as we're getting increasingly exhilarated and connected by this beautiful occasion. Today, as I like to do, I apologize for my mathematical autism, but I like to tell us where we are in the 20th Balabad, just laughing. I like to tell us where we are in the 24-hour clock as we go round the whole year. When we finish this 18th session, we will be at 6:45 a.m. That's where we are in the clock once we finish the 18th session. And we've got 4 beautiful speakers today. I'll hand over to Yashadhar in a minute to introduce our first speaker. We'll be starting off in the United Kingdom, around the corner in London, from my darling god brother, Sriman Sundaranandan Das. And then we'll be going over to Skegness. A bit of false advertising. It was going to be Lalita Didi, but the Gangas, they've done a bit of a switcheroo. The Gangas love to keep us on our toes. So we're getting Sudevi Didi. And so we'll get Lalita another week. Don't worry, I'm not going to let her get away with that. She'll be on another week. But Sudevi is another, absolutely amazing, beautiful devotee. And then we'll be going over to New Jersey in America to Sriman Vinay Krsna and Srimati Krishna Kamini from New Jersey. So it's a beautiful full lineup. And I think I'm ready to hand over to Yashadari to get us into the Harikatha. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, relishable couple of hours. Haribol, Dandavat Pranams.
Haribol.
Haribol. Okay, so I'm not going to take too much time. Yashadhananda Prabhu's already said so much. So I would like to introduce our first speaker. Personally, I've spent over the last couple of years many occasions with this devotee who's just the most considerate, most caring, the most loving god brother that I know. He just always is willing to look after anyone that is there. He's always willing to serve. He puts Srila Gurudev's heart and mood into everything that he does. And I actually I always feel inspired spending time with him, and I enjoy spending time with him because it's just so wonderful and to be around. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker, our wonderful god brother, Sriman Sundaranandan Prabhu from the UK. Haribol.
Jai.
Jai, Jai, Jai. Thank you, Yashodanandan Prabhu. Thank you, Yashoda Dari Didi. Oh, thank you all. Thank you so much. I must say that I'm feeling nervous, but I'm going to try my best, to be honest with you. Okay, so here's to Gurudev. Om Gyan Trimandasaya Jan Janjanaya Kalatsaya Salakaya Katsu Umintalimine Tasmay Sri Gurudev Namaha Namo Vishnuparaya Radhikaya Prapne Shishamad Bhatridanta Shilnarayan Maraj Ki Jai Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Pute Shishamad Bhatridanta Swami Prabhupada Iti Namane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Siddhi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Oh, okay, so thank you all for allowing me and giving me the chance to honor Srila Gurudev, all my god brothers and sisters, all the senior disciples of Gurudev, all the sannyasi disciples of Gurudev. Oh, this is, I think, for me, one of the very rare opportunities, not opportunity, I've had many opportunities, but I don't actually take them up. And I feel it's very important. I should actually start by telling you something that Gurudev actually has told me to speak today. Last week, after Ramananda had spoke, who used to be my roommate, I slept and Gurudev said, everyone else is doing Puspanjali and you should not just try and retire into the background and think that you will not speak. You should, and he actually told me an instruction many years ago that I should speak more often and preach, even though I felt very limited in my capacity for that. I'm going to do that because it's strange that he came in a dream and after last week and said, you must also do, you must do. And as we know, Gurudev is there with us all. He's taken us all on board and we have to give back. We have to give back something. So I didn't want to lose track of what I wanted to say. And even though I've written something down, I could easily lose track. So I'm going to try and stick to a little bit what I've said and improvise also a little bit. And I hope I'm clear. I think I've only got 20 minutes, so I'm going to try and fit it in by then. I'm pretty sure I can do that. So like everyone, Gurudev is our beloved, and he is for me also. He's very much my beloved. I have a picture of Gurudev right in front of me, by the way, and it was gifted to me by Ramananda Prabhu, and it was one of his favorite pictures, and he gave it to me when he moved in, and I needed this to be in front of me. So it feels like I'm actually, sorry, I don't mean to ignore any of you here, none of you at all. I just need to feel that I'm speaking directly to Gurudev, even if it's a picture. So I'm going to place him just there in front of the computer. Okay, so, wow. My journey into Krishna consciousness. Right, I was born and brought up in London. I came from a fairly devoted family of Lord Shiva. They were Sevites. My family was Sevites. And they worshipped the deity of, they worshipped the son of Shiva, Muruga, Kartikaya, Subramaniam. I had gone to many programs at temples. I just did not feel fulfilled. During a lofty time in my life, around 1997, I made a trip to India to see my family guru. And my family guru in Bangalore had told me that what I need to find is, what I'm looking for is in North India. This was in 1997. He told me that I need to find what I'm looking for in North India. I believed what he says, but I had no idea at that time what I was looking for. I actually, my silly mind was thinking it might be a wife, which was actually nonsense, to be quite honest with you. I don't think I'm capable of having a marriage again. So I did go to North India. I did, and that's going to come later on in my presentation. I needed to find someone in my life because I was truly not fulfilled. I had a lot of misery and emptiness in my heart, and I knew it as a child, and I knew it as an adult, and I knew it at each stage of my growing up. I felt very unfulfilled, very unhappy. I was undernourished. I would regularly go to Hindu temples in London and churches, by the way, to worship. I was a young boy at the time. I was truly disappointed and depressed. My unhappiness was heard and eventually reciprocated. I was desperate for love and affection. Only by looking outside of material bondage, family, wife, child, career, addiction, was I finally given a chance to be captured by you, Gurudev. Through an expert preaching messenger of yours. Yes, you have many wonderful preaching messages out there, and it's through them that I came to you. And I'm so glad that they captured me. You were in them, and through them you did your thing, you did your stuff, you captured me. I had a fortunate glimpse as a child to meet your beloved Shiksha Guru, A.C. Swami Prabhupada, in the early 70s. I am now so thankful to my father for taking me to a palace where a real spiritual truth could be found, though I had no idea at the time. I was young, I think it was around 7 years of age. I forgot, I'm now a lot older, and it took me 3.5 decades until I could see you via the effective preaching of your daughters in London, Oxford Street. And I have to mention this because to me, they're very significant. They gave me that chance to see what it was I had forgotten as a child. They literally took me by the hand to you. I am grateful for her service. Thank you, Sita Thakurani. Thank you very much. You actually met me 3 times in Oxford Street, and I wasn't convinced the first time, I wasn't convinced the second time. And because you found me in the same horrible place in Oxford Street, outside a shop, smoking a cigarette with my nephew and niece, I felt, well, I can't carry on like this. I was totally flattered and enamored by you impressed my heart. And it was a crucial stage at my life. You showed me that you had so much conviction and confidence, boldness, knowledge and love for your Guru. Of course, I wanted to meet him. Yeah, there was no doubt. Of course, you know what, if you were going to a betting shop and you knew that the horse was going to win, who wouldn't? Yeah, for sure. And luckily I had something in my mind that said, you know, listen to this girl, Sundar, listen to this girl. She was really, really strong in her preaching. So thank you. Also as a kid, and I remember this also as well, I was with my parents and I saw Srila Swami Prabhupada's disciples joyously chanting. And I think I may have been around, I think 10 years old, but it never left me. And we lived at that time in Camden Town, where I am currently now. And I do remember saying to myself, I want to be happy like them. And you know, look where I am now. Look where I am now. I'm not always happy, by the way, but I'm telling you, I'm probably 150% happier than I was in my childhood. So I thank Srila Prabhupada's disciples for also introducing me to Krishna consciousness through Harinam. They joyously sang and praised the names of Radha and Krishna up and down the high street. And as we are still doing today. So that has never gone. That's always there and it will forever be there. Gurudev, you taught me the value of honoring. I'm fairly, actually, even though I like a lot of materialistic things, I'm fairly simple in my ways. But I do believe you have taken me. Though shy, I would usually only do an honorings in very small ways. And that would be simply just offering incense and light, which I still do today. However, I remember how you would lavishly, expertly honor your Shiksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and I always loved hearing how you would honor all the other Vaisnavas. I loved it. You gave everything in your honorings. It was so, and I remember going to speak to Jainatai at Soho Street Temple and honoring you in front of him. And he would ask me, I would tell him that I wanted to distribute Prabhupada's books alongside yours. And he asked me, why is your Gurudev's picture at the beginning of your books and then Prabhupada's? And I said, well, please don't feel confused. But the way I see it, in my simple way, is that my Gurudev is honoring Srila Prabhupada. And he would not leave him out. So his pictures are there. You should see it in a very positive aspect. So I think I actually convinced him. Funny enough, I did convince him because he gave me plenty of books to distribute, plenty, sponsored books. Gurudev would honor his Shiksha Gurus, his Param Guru, and our Parampara with a beautiful celebration of words to tell them all. Hearing this was so impressive. You guided and trained every one of your sannyasi disciples to of great stature as yourself. You left us with many bright stars. You really have left us with so many wonderful personalities, Gurudev. I first saw Gurudev in, I think it's in, correct me if I'm wrong, 2005 in Europe at a festival. I think it was a Holland festival, maybe not. But I met you in Holland first. That's where I first met you. I always wished it would be India, but Holland is, wherever you are, it's a dham. That's good enough. That's the perfect thing. So in Holland, I was taken by the hand, literally taken by the hands of the Gangamatas. They were so caring. They looked after me so nicely in the early years. They took me to Europe, they took me to India, until I could feel like a child, until I could feel confident I could do it on my own. I took Harinam in Holland, and I think it was 2 years later, I took Diksha. On my Harinam initiation, I gave you the biggest watermelon. And I walked up to you with this watermelon, and I thought, well, Gurudev, I'm sorry, the way I saw it is that maybe this watermelon is too heavy for you. And then I think the other sannyasis who all stand beside you was looking at, probably reading my mind, and they wanted to take the watermelon off me, but you refused. You said, no, you took it from me. I also remember, Gurudev, that when I was in front of you, I said, Gurudev, you have given me Harinam, but I am so weak. And then you looked at me with you gave me some very stern look, Gurudev. And you said, you tapped me 3 times in the chest. And I thank you for that. You said, you are strong, strong, strong. And these type of things mean a lot to me. I've never forgotten that day, ever. It was simply amazing. I cannot believe the gift you gave was so real. I had a glimpse of something very special on that day when I took Harinam from you. and you gave me my beads. And you know what? I didn't want to use those beads because I was so worried I might lose them. I put them in my drawer. And I think I told some of the other devotees, I put them in my drawer and I said, I'm just going to use some other beads. But I realized that those are the beads I should be using. But I had to take care of them. They were my jewels. You know, I don't think I would have liked it if you gave me a necklace of gold or diamonds or pearls. You gave me what I needed. And I really just wanted to take care of that. And I still have those beads, and I am actually using them for the last couple of years. I stopped using the ones I got elsewhere. By the way, I just want you to make sure you knew this, Gurudev, because I didn't want to lose what you gave me. So that's why I felt maybe I should just keep in my drawer for years and years. You gave me a glimpse on that day of something special, which I won't reveal in this honoring. You gave me many experiences, plenty of experiences. I will never ever forget. I will only cherish. However, Gurudev, I must work harder to develop my God consciousness. I must work much, much harder. I've had many material challenges, even after taking Krishna consciousness. And I think that dream I'll tell you that dream you gave me after Ramananda Prabhu spoke last week was to test me. Don't slack, Sundar. You now offer. Don't stand in the background. Offer. I know you are testing me like this. You have tested me many times, many times. Being at that festival and meeting the devotees, I could finally say this was the family I was waiting for all my life. You know, I don't think I could say this to my actual family, by the way. You told me to please Krishna. You actually told me to please Krishna. Always serve him, make him happy. I apologize, Gurudev. I didn't always do that. I got lost in my own, I got trapped in my own maya. I was useless at times. But I know you give me the courage and the strength to pick myself up. I'm going to do a few memories now. I remember, Gurudev, when I knelt on the floor with many others, when you were making your way back to your room after a class in Gopinath Bhavan. I had feelings like you were Jesus Christ, walking gracefully through a sea of devotees. It seems like a dream. I really thought you were Jesus. I have a strong connection towards Jesus, so for me, it meant a lot that there was this great personality in front of me. And I wasn't the only one kneeling in front of you on that day in Gopinath Bhavan. There were many disciples, young, old, that were just enamored by your presence. You have left many moments of love in my heart. Though I think they are small, they mean the world to me. I can never forget your magnanimous, loving, and true and kind nature. Each week we hear from the other devotees, young, new, those with more maturity and seniority. I can again start feeling and remembering your never-ending greatness. The impressions they leave in my heart are priceless. The impressions you leave are eternal. Thank you so much for this family. Please allow me to play a role in it. Gurudev, I'm sorry I tested you. And I answered back and doubted for so long. When you gave me instruction, I questioned your instruction. What a fool. For years, I went for morning walks, normally in London, in a park, Regent's Park. And I'm sure I saw you. I'm sure I saw you many times in complete strangers. These strangers, actually I have been stopped many times in the mornings by strangers in this park. And I thought it was you testing my bhakti and my knowledge. And I'm sorry, Gurudev, I often failed because I was suspicious of who I was speaking to. I felt you were in disguise testing me. When I asked you, like a naughty boy, to show me that if you were really in my life, please prove it by showing me 2 black swans. Do you remember? Flying in the air. I asked you that. Why I should never test you. And this was in Regent's Park also. I asked, please show me that you are in my life by proving to me that if there are 2 black swans in the air, you are actually real. And you know what? It happened. It happened. And still I'm a crazy little boy because I was not convinced enough. I asked more and more as time went by. But gradually my faith in you grew. I'm sorry, I needed to know you are still in my life. So I asked you like this. You gave me so many dreams and instructions in these dreams and chastisements too. One morning, I think it was around 4:30 in the morning, the night before I had cut my finger, doing some seva in the kitchen, and it was quite badly cut, and I felt that early in the morning, I should go to the A&E, my local hospital, and have it seen to. I went there, I had it seen to. In actual fact, I actually saw 2 devotees from ISKCON there early in the morning in A&E, which was so pleasant. These devotees at all times of the day. And on my walk back home, I was questioning, who is my guru? Is he really with me? Is he taking care of me? I don't often listen to my intuition, and when I do, I'm surprised. This time, on my way back from the hospital, walking back home, you asked me to cross the road on the Hampstead Road. You asked me to cross the road, and I'm thinking, why am I crossing the road when my house is on this side of the road, which I'm currently on? I crossed that road, and then out of the ether, out of the sky fell to the ground this page from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And this was around 4:30 in the morning. So Gurudev, this is also a memory for me of you. It says, I would like to read this as well if I've got a little, oh, have I gone past, I've gone past 20 minutes? Have I?
Don't worry, carry on. You're okay.
Right.
You're okay.
Okay, at least to read this. It says, in his spiritual abode, the Supreme Personality of Godhead performs his transcendental pastimes with his eternal associates, such as the cowherd boys in Vrindavan. And on this side, the self-realized sage sees the Supreme Person enter into the hearts of all living beings as the supersoul, despite external differences. He sees all creatures with equal vision. Now, I don't know how we're going to do this because I got a little bit more. So that happened on a morning walk. You showed me everything. And now you have to be my everything. Once you took my ring away from me in a dream and you gave it, and you threw it to the ground, that this is a ring you gave me in the German festival, and you put it actually on my finger. And I realized that you threw it away because I upset a fellow devotee and I did not attend a disappearance day at a temple to honor you. What a fool I was. But today is another day and I won't forget. And I won't forget to ever honor you. Forever may you remain in my heart. I have written more, but I think I should finish now because there are other devotees that are waiting to speak. So my Dandavat pranams. Vanchakalpatarupascha kripasindhucha Pachan Pavino Vaishnavo Pavino Namaha. Jai Gurudev.
I feel really unqualified to actually speak anything just straight after you or to conclude what you've just spoken. For anyone that knows Sundaranandan Prabhu, he keeps him to himself. He's not one to sit at the front and be that person. He's normally at the back doing the seva. But today I realized that being at the front is not everything. You take a lot of things. Those that are quiet absorb so much that it's incredible. And Sundaranandan Prabhu, you are one of them people that have taken so much from Srila Gurudev. You have so many realizations, and we've just heard your realizations of Srila Gurudev. It's just beyond words, beyond beyond words is I'm losing words to say. Srila Gurudev is always there, and you're showing that he's always beside us. No matter where we are, who we are, what problems we're facing, he's always holding our hand. And you've just described the beauty of our Srila Gurudev. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming and speaking, and you should do this more often because you actually have so much to give. You may not think it, but you actually do have so much to give and so many teachings for someone like me. So I would be honored if you could speak more often. So thank you again, Sundaranandan Prabhu, for sharing with us. Amazing.
Jai.
Okay. So now we zoom over to the north part of England, to the Gangamata Gaudiya Math in Skegness, where I'm going to introduce our wonderful god sister of ours. She is like the most enthusiastic Kirtaniya I know. She's always there at the front. She's always the one that's so encouraging when she goes out for preaching, whether she goes to do Kirtan, whatever she does on the basis that she is always doing something or encouraging other people, and makes everyone, whoever goes and meets the Gangamatas and speaks to this wonderful devotee, she's always so engaging and so loving, and you feel at home automatically without any hesitation. And I definitely, when I first moved, or when I first came to Krishna consciousness, this particular devotee, or my god sister, was the one that encouraged me to meet Srila Gurudev. So on the back of that, I'm super looking forward to it, and I've been waiting to see her smile for a long time, and I'm finally getting to see it. It's none other than our Srimati Sudevi Didi from Skegness, Gangamata Gaudiya Math. Hari 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 Bol. You have to unmute though. There should be an unmute button, Sudevi Didi. I can't hear you because you're on mute.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Can you hear me now?
Haribol, yes, I can.
Haribol, everybody. That's very funny. Okay, hi. Okay, hang on. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namayom Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before I start to speak, I want to offer my humble obeisances to my most worshipful Gurudeva, Nityalila Vistom Vishnupada, Stota Satashya Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, all assembled God brothers, God sisters, and everybody else. And God nephews and nieces. Jai! Good to see you, even through the lens. Okay, so today is a lucky day because I get to remember Gurudev spontaneously, and I should always remember him. But anyhow, today it happened, so I'm very lucky. So wanted to start off with one personal incident. When I was in Gopinath Bhavan, I was pretty new and pretty shaved up and pretty, very funny. and then I was a bit like, I didn't know anybody, like a bit like, I felt a bit like a street dog sort of thing. And then I was in Gurudev's darshan. And what happened was that there was this perfect family in front of me, like devotee family. I was actually Chandrika and her sister. And anyhow, you know, they have this lovely devotee family, huh? Not Chandramukhi, yeah, and her sister and the whole family. I didn't know them at this time. And they were just like sitting, leaning there. And then the sister said like, Gurudev, I really want to be brahmacharini. And Gurudev had this like sweet exchange with them and stuff like this. And I was just like sitting on the back by myself. And I was just like thinking, oh man, I'm just like such a street dog. It's like, I wish I could have like, you know, some kind of sweet thing like this happening. And then Gurudev, he just all of a sudden, he said like, my door is always open for anyone at any time. And yeah, now I always tell the story, but it's really beautiful because like you know, it doesn't really matter, like Gurudev doesn't see anything like what we are, because usually in this world people can be like judgmental, but Gurudev, like, he doesn't judge anybody. And if he sees like a tiny spark, like a tiny desire in the heart, then he will flame this so that this bhakti kripa can grow. And also he said for anyone. So like we see, Gurudev wasn't like that, he was only kind and give mercy to his disciple. He was like guru of everybody, like helping anybody freely, who, you know, selflessly, who came to him. And yeah, at any time. So he's not temporary, he's not like, he's here anytime. Like in the moment Gurudev's deities are flooding the world, and he's anytime in the heart of all the disciples, and his books are everywhere. So he's there anyway at any moment. So we just have to come to him and open our heart. And even if we don't, he never gives up. He's just really patiently, mercifully just waiting for us to give a drop of, you know, any drop he sees is like fishing us. So that's really kind and very beautiful, and more loving than thousands of mothers in this world. And then there was another situation. Okay, so I was super new, and I was kind of didn't really have like this conception of transcendental relationships. So I just thought like, oh, I should get to know my guru a little bit better. Maybe we can like I can go traveling with him or anything like this, you know. And then I was in Germany, and I make these scones, which I didn't know what was scones this time yet. Then I waited in Gurudev's festival. Remember this festival? We were in Germany, where were these houses? We had these wooden houses and stuff. So I just waited in front of the door, and Rajana just went like, you want to come in? Yeah, okay, just wait. And I just waited for like 2-3 hours or something. I was really determined like to give him the scones and stuff. And then at one point I came in. We went upstairs, and I was just like Rajana walking around, and low battery, Kamla. I don't know, they all gone. I don't know. Ah, yeah, they're back. Okay, hi. So basically, I came up. There was just Gurudev was dictating something. One of Maharaj is writing a book down from Gurudev's dictation, and so I came with my scones, and I like wanted to give it, and then Rajanath went like, are they with ghee? I'm like, no. Are they with brown flour? I'm like, no. Are they with brown sugar? I'm like, no. And he was like, like, no. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, Gurudev, I'm just wondering, how can I always be with you? And then he said, oh, you should be like them. And then I don't know, for a second, like there was Madhav Maharaj behind him, but for a second I just saw all of the sannyasis behind him, like Padmanabha Maharaj and stuff like this. It was kind of strange vision. But what I got from this was like that it's not like, you know, not external, because I thought with my material concept, like how can I get to know Guru? I can get to know Guru like, yeah, spending much time, you know, how you would do in a material relationship. But the relationship with Gurudev is through service and through surrender. And because that is what signifies the sannyas, right? He's giving everything. And Gurudev gave the perfect example for this, because when he first came to his guru, he said to Param Gurudev, I give everything to you. I give to you my manasadaya, isn't my mind, my family, my brother, sister, everything I have, I offer to you. I offer to your lotus feet. So Gurudev is teaching as a perfect example for us. What do I want to say? Yeah. So he said, I take my life in my hands and I will offer my life to you. And Gurudev says, like, just give me this one life. If you just give me this life, and you will see what I can do with that. So yeah, right now we don't have much, or I don't have much like spontaneous affection, but Gurudev saying, just trust me and just give me this one life. And we can also see how Gurudev served completely, like selflessly, in the example of how he took care of Ananga Mohan Brahmachari, because he was completely risking his life for this service, because Ananga Mohan Brahmachari, he was so close and dear to his Gurudev that you know, these days, like we don't see that so much anymore. Like Gurudev is like teaching us how not only to worship Gurudev, but how also to worship all the disciples of Guru, those who are very close and dear to him. And I was listening the other day that he said, I don't want you to like fight. I don't want you to and maybe I feel like fighting with somebody, but then I can think like, but this person is very dear to my Gurudev, so I should pay my pranam. I should see like the service, what this person is doing for my Gurudev. So Gurudev, he was risking his own life because tuberculosis was as well ansteckend, contagious. And he completely, it didn't matter for him. So he's showing this example how to serve the Sevaka and as well with his whole life. And when I was in Navadvip, then I met Sita in the darshan in front of Gurudev. And then there was also, I remember Venugopal Prabhu was there, and isn't it, he said, be like Sita. And then he said to Sita, oh, you should be like me, always serving the devotees. Like I am cooking for all the devotees, after I am cleaning the area, and like all day long I am serving the devotees. And in this way Gurudev, like, he did not hold anything back. He wasn't miser in his heart. He like fully surrendered. And then the funny, interesting thing is that Sita then said, yeah, but Gurudev, you Mahabhagavat, isn't it? When we hear this, we can think like, yeah, that's like, I can think like, this is like inspiring, but you know, these are great Vaisnavas, but you know, they are Mahabhagavats. They don't come from the toilet where I come from. But then Gurudev said, no, you can do. And then, okay, we can think like, oh, he said that to Sita, right? But Gurudev told me to be like Sita, and he said to many others as well, like just the example, like he said to all of us, like we should be like this. And that's why the Vaisnavas, they come and they give this perfect example, because we should be like that. So yeah, I didn't remember. Well, he established, he's like, Gurudev is like very uncompromising, like what other people think about him. He just wants to establish the pure conception of the pure Guru Varga. And for example, he established Shivratri, he established as well Radhastami in Mathura, in the castle, you could say, of Kamsa. Sorry, my English isn't that great. Right? Like, this is the most difficult place to establish this, because Kamsa, right, he wanted to kill Krishna and the Brajabasis, but he established and changed the heart of those, and and made them all serve Radharani. So when Param Gurudev came and saw, he was so pleased in his heart. Oh, and also I forgot actually to mention, I wanted to mention one thing that about the whole scones thing and stuff, why I said that, because like yesterday we were hearing in class that Didi said that I quote you wrong, you tell me, okay, I always have to quote them, sorry. That she saw one time, she recognized the Russian twins, they gave some was it little cake, little biscuits to Gurudev, and Gurudev just took them like this. And then Kamla went up to them with a translator, because she thought like, wow, he was so greedy to take them, there must be some special, like something special is happening there. And then the translator, they said basically that they made it all night, and they made it like 6 times, and they made it like all night for Gurudev to be perfect. And then I was thinking, because Gurudev, he accepts this mood, and he wants us to be like one-pointed and completely like loving, like just for him, like forget anything else, but just to make it perfect for him and only for him. And yeah, I said yesterday, I wish I would have done the same thing with my scones, but I just made them anyway. Anyway, something to learn there. And then Gurudev, he didn't have any obstacles like in Gurudev, to serve his Gurudev. Like, he even learned Bengali to translate the Jaiva Dharma. When I like, isn't it, Gurudev tells me anything, I will like chant or something like this, I can be like, but I have problems to chant, I can't do this, I can't do this. What to learn? Speak of learning another language for Guru Seva. Like, he didn't have any obstacles for him. He just went for it, and anything it took for the service, he went, put in the sacrifice. That's why we hear like we should come to Gurudev with a firewood, isn't it? And sacrifice anything what is needed to serve Gurudev, and don't hold on to anything. Then Gurudev also, he gave us the he very much established the glories of Srimati Radhika. And even maybe somebody said like, oh, I don't make any advancement, Gurudev. And then Gurudev said like, but what do you want to be? You want to be a cowboy? You want to be a queen of Dwarka? No, I don't want to be a queen of Dwarka. What do you want to be? I want to be a Manjari. And he said, you see, like, you already so one-pointed, you already have this in mind, and go. He was giving this. Then one more. He was establishing yeah, finishing now, almost. 1 second. So anybody Gurudev would ask, he would say, oh, tell me the definition of what means pure bhakti. And he was giving many examples to us all the time in his classes, how the Brajabasis serve purely in the heart. He was always establishing his glories, and he is always giving relationship with Giraj Maharaj. We used to go all together with him, and he used to describe the glories of all the pure devotees. When I came new, I didn't really understand so much of it, but I always remember that he used to say, never criticize and never complain and never stop chanting. But out of all of this, I remember he said like all the time, never criticize. So that was something which like really stood out for me. He would not like, he doesn't really need to come here. He could just be doing his bhajan in some, in some quiet place. But we hear this morning that they come only out of their kindness, and they come for us. So in Sri Guru Charana Padma says that we should worship Gurudev carefully. So I hope that by Gurudev's mercy, I can keep all his teachings like in my heart and proper follow them. And not let the selfishness take over. But yeah, he's very kind. So Jai Gurudev. Mancha kalpa taribhyascha kripa sindhurevacha padhanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha. I think you turned the volume off.
What?
I know.
Just 1 second before you mute yourself again. But I just wanna say, Sudevi, thank you so much for sharing. Number one. Number two, thank you and all of the girls that are there actually. For many of us that came to this path of bhakti with not knowing where to go, who to turn to, who to even inspire to be like, you guys imbibe the mood of Srila Gurudev. You said this one thing where Srila Gurudev said, just give me this one life. You guys have all given that to him. And it's so inspiring, it's so loving. And I feel very fortunate that I was even in that association with you all. It's a bit sad because you guys are so far away, but still it still feels like you guys are close enough that we can get the association. So thank you so much, Sudevi, for sharing with us. And for
And
those
you can always come. People come here in the weekends also, so you're always welcome. They come all the time, so you're always welcome to come. Yash, has been a long time.
I know I'm coming soon. Once I'm out of this 10-day quarantine, I'll be straight there.
You've been saying that for 6 months.
No, okay, we're gonna have a discussion online. But
she can hear you.
Stop it. I can hear you.
She says you went to India, but you didn't come here.
6 weeks. Okay, anyways, we're not gonna talk about that.
She said Yashodanandan came twice to see Gurudev.
I'm coming. I promise.
Oh, I love this. This is kind of collective embarrassment.
We
should know. Gangas, you're cruel, man. You're cruel.
What to do?
So David,
I have no excuse either.
Can we have darshan of Gurudev for a second?
Yes, most certainly.
Beautiful. I can hear Kamala in the background. She seems to want to say something. You want to say something else, Kamala? You're causing a lot of mischief. Yeah.
No,
so
we're supporting. We're supporting. Show everyone.
So,
come on, guys.
Dandavat pranams. So before I move on to our next two speakers, I just want to say something about our first two speakers because I feel very strongly towards both of them personally. So to say nothing would be remiss. Sundaranandan, I'm so proud of you and so happy that you shared today. And I can tell both from the messages and from, I don't know, somehow you can hear the Shravan and Zoom, even though you can't hear anyone. There's a Zoom room psyche out there that you just tune into. And I can just feel that everybody was really touched by what you said and what you shared. And I want to share something with you that kind of touched a little bit on what Yashari said about the difference between being someone at the front and someone being at the back. And it's about the relationship between bhajan and seva. And I think a pyramid is a very, very strong structure for building. And when you have a pyramid, the base is very strong, and then you've got a much smaller peak. So the base is holding up the peak really, really well. The foundations of a building are everything. And so when you have strong bhajan and strong realization, prospering into great seva, this is the right way round, as opposed to having weak bhajan and strong seva. And I think one of the feelings I get from you is that's what I have to learn from you, is to get that balance right. So you may not feel that you're sometimes as prominent outside and you keep to yourself, but you can tell from the Kirtan that you're sharing that there's a lot of bhajan, a lot of internal reflection and beautiful things going on in your whole mind. So I just want to show appreciation for that and offer my respects very much. And Sudevi, Didi, every time I see you for the last, I don't know how many years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I've known you so long, you're like, for me, the expansion of Nityananda Prabhu. It's impossible to feel morose around you. It's impossible to feel sad around you. It's impossible to feel negative around you. You're just a bundle of joy. And you are a testament to Srila Gurudev's Shakti and Bhakti. And you're a beautiful representative of the Gangas. And you girls, for me, just rock. That's all I can say. You're amazing. And I so respect and cherish your seva, your mood. And you might look, by the way, they do look chaos personified, and actually they are pretty chaotic, but somehow it always comes together. So some of you, I've asked, we thought it was Lalita Didi speaking today. For those of you that weren't at the beginning hearing my intro, the reason why we swapped is Achincha. I've got no idea what happened to Lalita. She's keeping us on our toes, but we got Sudevi, the beautiful Sudevi today, and another day we'll get Lalita. So this is like Ganga switcheroo. It happens all the time, and it's go with the flow. Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
Lalita,
hey,
you're not getting away
sorry.
with it, right?
I'm really sorry for missing the opportunity.
No, you're just keeping us in suspense.
I needed to go to the recycling center. It was just exactly at the time, so.
No problem. Well, you recycled yourself for Sudevi. You recycled yourself for Sudevi, and we'll recycle you in a couple of weeks. Yeah? We can't wait to have you in. Okay. I'm going to mute the Gangas. It sounds impossible, but it's going to happen. Here you go. You're on mute. Hari Bol. So, Dandavat Pranams. We're now going over to New Jersey. We have a beautiful husband and wife in New Jersey who have gotten up extra early to be with us. They were here. They've been warm welcome to both of you, Vinay Krishna and Krishna Kamini. I'll introduce you separately. Vinay Krishna first met Gurudev at Vishnu Das's house in Houston, in Texas, and he took Harinam the very following year in 1998. He met Gurudev in 97, pretty early, the second year of Gurudev's Western pastimes. The following year, he took Harinam in 98, and then in Badger, the beautiful New Braj, he took Diksha in 2001. So we're very honored to have your presence, Prabhu and Didi, for the third and fourth speakers today. So I hand over to you, and a very warm welcome to our beautiful Sangha, our world Sangha. Hari Bol, Dandavats.
Thank you, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Yashanandan Prabhu. Thank you, Hari Bol. I'm honored to be here. So first of all, I offer my humble obeisances onto the lotus feet of Paramartha Gurudeva Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, to our Guru Parampara, to the assembled devotees, Vaisnavas, Yatha Dandavat Pranam. So it's very, as I said, honored, and Yashodanandan Prabhu, and I can see Yashodhara Didi. I think if you remember me, and I also see some other people, Madhuvat Prabhu, Hare Krishna, some of people I know. So Dandavat Pranam to everyone. So it's in this occasion of Srila Gurudev 100th centennial celebration, I offer some Pushpanjali on his lotus feet. So as Yashodanandan Prabhu says that I met with Srila Gurudev in 97, and then it was Vishnu Das Prabhu's home. So I will just give my some experience with Srila Gurudev, my incident, and I can start something like that. I'm not like qualified to speak about it, but I will say I'm very fortunate to have Srila Gurudev as Mahabhagavat in my life, because as we say, sadhu sangha sarva shastra kahe, love matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. So only by association, by like a moment of association, we can get the Mahabhagavat, his presence and his love matra sadhu sangha. Everything will be possible. So as I was saying, Yashanand Prabhu was said that I met him in Houston, and it was just in May '97. I landed in Houston, Texas. Couple of weeks after that, I went to ISKCON temple because like I was coming from India, I had a religious background, so we were looking for some temple. People said that, okay, there is an ISKCON temple. I went there and took the darshan of Radha Krishna, and there was also a vigraha of Srila Prabhupada. At that time, I was not knowing who Prabhupada was because I was not attached or related to Vaishnava Sampradaya. But some, like my friends also was there, and they asked me, do you know him? I said, no. But we had a nice prasad. Everyone can say that prasadam in like our like Korea Mart or ISKCON is so delicious. And when you're coming, when you're in Western world, you are craving for that food. So like after temple, after a week only, I was coming from there and to my apartments, and I saw a car and a sadhu coming out of that car. And that was Srila Gurudev with Madhav Maharaj and Sriman Vishnu Das Prabhu. He was my front door neighbor, but I have never met him before. It was just 2 months. But by Srila Gurudev's mercy, I able to meet him in front of like our apartment. And I will also say that it was also the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, because I will say Srila Prabhupada is like a Kshetrapal. He is a mercy, because without the mercy of Gopeshwar Mahadev, you cannot enter into the Ras Leela. Same thing, I will say that Srila Prabhupada is like a Kshetrapal of the Western world. You have to first get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada to get the mercy of his exalted or dear friend, Srila Gurudev. So this was my like a small introduction that how I met with Srila Gurudev. As Yashanand Prabhu said that I started associating with Vishnu Das Prabhu, and then next year when Srila Gurudev came, I took Harinam and then Diksha after that. But like what Srila Gurudev has come, the Manobhist of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Rup Goswami has established the Manobhist of the innermost desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Anarpitam Charim Charat Karuna Vatin Kalahu Samarpit Munnat Ujwal Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Hari Purat Sundar Dviti Kadamba Sambitaha Sada Hriday Kandare Swartu Vah Sachidananda. So the innermost desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which Srila Rup Goswami is like established, was Unnat Ujjal Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam. Swabhakti, his bhakti, the topmost confidential wealth of Swabhakti, which is Radha Dasyam, which Srila Gurudev distributed. And this is like the Pale Dasi Bhav, the servant, the mood, how do we serve Srimati Radha Rani in the Manjari Bhav. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like wanted to do this, distribute this all over the world. And our Guru Parampara, like when we say Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, and every other acharyas, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was one time say to his like disciples that I'm unhappy because I have come to give this thing of this Unnat Ujjal Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam, the Vipronam Bhav, the mood of separation of Shri Radha and Krishna, and this Gopi Prem. But most of my time has been spent in cutting the jungles of Mayavad, Sahajvad, Sakhi Begi, and this non-devotional ideas. Our Param Gurudev, Acharya Keshri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, also preached like a lion roar. And he has so much exalted Vaishnavas like our Srila Gurudev, Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Trivikram Maharaj, and all other Vaishnavas, and our Swami Prabhupada, also took the sannyas from our Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj before coming to the Western world. So when Swami Prabhupada came to Western world, he has to start with the foundation, because all the devotees are neophyte and they have to start from there. He has cultivated the field so that the field can be fertile, so that the Bhakti Rata beach can grow. And Srila Gurudev, when he came, he distributed this Raganuga Bhakti, especially the Madhurya Bhav, the Singaras, very easily, because the field was cultivated, or there was a fertile, or there was some understanding has already been established by the Srila Prabhupada. And we see that when Swami Maharaj and our Guru Parampara, like everyone, is in this mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's to distribute this Unnat Ujjwal Rasan Bhakti Shriyam, we can see Swami Maharaj always meditating on one of the bhajan, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. So this bhajan, this mood, I've heard Srila Gurudev saying that what he's talking about, all these pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna, the Kunj Bihari, the Giriraj Govardhan, these are all Ras Bhav. He has been in that mood, but he has to start from the foundation to establish the bhakti in all over the world. And that what Srila Gurudev has given, the Radha Dasyam, will be remembered for ages, because this has not been given so freely. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed the bhakti without any qualification. He doesn't say that there is a patra or apatra, like there was no qualification. Same thing, Srila Gurudev distributed this Rasmai Bhakti, this Shingar Ras, to everyone. We are not qualified to ever understand what is Radha Dasyam, to be the maidservant of the maidservant of Srimati Radharani. But Srila Gurudev says, like, don't worry about your qualification, hear about this. So this is like one of the biggest contribution of Srila Gurudev of spreading or giving us understanding of this Radha Dasyam. Also, I will say that a lot of people say that, do we need Guru to understand the Shastras? And we have known about it that that Eka Bhagavat, Bada Bhagavat Shastra, Eva Bhagavat Bhakta, Bhakti Rasa Patra. So there are two Bhagavat we have known, that there is Granth Bhagavat and there is a Bhakt Bhagavat, like the person Bhagavat and the book Bhagavat. And can we understand the book Bhagavat without the mercy of the Bhagavat Bhakta? Srila Gurudev used to say one example, that in Hindi he says, Ram tum kahan gaye the? Like in you say English says, Ram, where did you went? So if I read, like if I don't understand and I will read the Bhagavatam and I have a word like Ram, where did you went? I will not understand the inner mood that what the Shastra is saying. Srila Gurudev used to say that, okay, same sentence, if I said, Ram, where did you went? Then the mood is different, saying that, okay, I am not happy that Ram, where did you went is not the right place, or this is like in an angry mood. Same thing, if you say, Ram, where did you went? Srila Gurudev, like just an expression, like I remember Srila Gurudev's face in there. And the Gurudev says that, oh, I know where did you went. So this is the mood, like what is the inner understanding of that Shastra? You cannot understand without the Bhakt Bhagavat. The Granth can only be revealed by the Bhakt. So I will say we are very fortunate to have Srila Gurudev, to have the association, and he giving us the instruction on this Rupanuga Bhav, Raganuga Bhav, and also the ultimate goal of the Prayojan, the goal of our life is the Radha Dasyam. So I will say like couple of my incident, my memories with Srila Gurudev, that how I have some relationship. So I like how Gurudev showered his unconditional love to me, or to my family, to my parents, to my wife, kids. So he loved us like a parent, and everyone feel that Gurudev loved him the most. I also feel that Gurudev loved me the most. My wife says, "Oh, he loves me the most." So he has so much love for everyone that sometimes I used to go and hug him, but he just laughed because he knows that he has so much love. On his one of the world tour, I went to take darshan of him to his bhajan kuti, the room, and I have a jap mala in my hand. I was chanting, and I did a sastang dandot pranam in front of Srila Gurudev, and I have the chanting beat on my head. So Srila Gurudev says, "Okay, your chanting beat should not touch the floor, because if you are doing the sastang dandot pranam, either you put the chanting beat on your head, or some other place which is aside." Because that was the instruction. He said that there is no difference between Nam and Nami. There is no difference between Krishna and his name. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nij Sarva Shakti. So Bhagwan has invested all his potencies on his holy name. So that was one of his instruction, direct instruction he gave it to me. Other memories I have is I was very fortunate to get some personal services. By the mercy of Madhav Maharaja, I used to get the service of his massaging, his massage seva. So sometimes when you go to Srila Gurudev room at the time of massage, you can see 10 to 15 devotees massaging his body. I want to say that Gurudev expand himself to give his services to all his devotees, to please all his devotees, to give mercy to all his devotees. And I try to get his feet always to do his massage. So one time I was massaging his feet, and I was doing rigorously his feet, and it becomes a little hard because I can also feel the hotness in my hand. But Srila Gurudev, what he does, he got up a little bit, and he saw who is massaging, and then he lay down without saying a word. And I was massaging, I didn't see Srila Gurudev got up, and other devotees who were there told me later. But he was so merciful that it may not be pleasing to him at the time, but he didn't stop us because it stopped me because it was pleasing to me, and I was doing some.
So I can't check. He might be in there.
So I was saying that Gurudev is transcendental. He has a transcendental body, and he expand himself to give the service to all his devotees. Other incident, other past, I will say, one time we were in Rajmanda Parikrama, and we did Govardhan Parikrama on scooter because my wife was not feeling well. So we did the Parikrama on the scooter, and I went to Srila Gurudev after that. And Srila Gurudev said, "Did you do the Parikrama?" I said, "Yes, Srila Gurudev, I did it by scooter." I said, "Hey, you are very young. Why did you do with the scooter?" So I said, I didn't say anything, but says that, "Oh, you should do it by foot." Girirajji is very merciful. He is Sarv Abhist Pradata. He can fulfill all your desire, but don't desire for any material enjoyment. He is Haridas Varya. So he is Bhakta Prasad Kripa. He can give you any kripa, and you should go to Giriraj Govardhan and ask for his mercy that you can be a devotee of Shri Radha and Krishna. So there is in a Govardhan Ashtakam, Govardhano me Drishtam Abhistam. He can fulfill all your deepest desire and get the darshan of Shri Radha Krishna Leelas, because all the Leelas happened in Govardhan. So he was giving this instruction that we should how to go to a devotee and how to get the kripa of Govardhan, and he was so merciful. I also remember one of the incident when like the first time when I heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Gurudev. And I was in Houston, 98. This was the first Bhagavatam. And he was narrating that pastime of Akrura taking Krishna and Balram. And while he was in his chariot, like the gopis were lamenting, everyone is lamenting. And that whole, he was describing that pastimes. And after the class, I went to Srila Gurudev and said that Gurudev, why Krishna never went back to Vrindavan? So Gurudev started laughing because I was like very neophyte. And he said, do more bhajan. Like you cannot understand now. But eventually by his kripa, I understand that that Brajendrananda Shyam Sundar Shri Krishna never left Vrindavan. There was another Prakost. He's always with his like gopis and sakhas, and he is there. So there was a lot of like his pastimes, which has taught me, and by his mercy, that we are doing some seva, or we are praying, and his lotus feet that give us the mercy to do more bhajan. Because we know that every day we sing in our Guru Astakam that Yasa Prasada Bhagavad Prasado Yasa Prasada Nagati Kutopi. Because without the mercy of Srila Gurudev, we cannot get the mercy of the grace of Krishna. And without his grace, living entities cannot make any advancement. So I pray to lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. I'm missing all those days. I'm missing when I go on morning walk with you. I'm missing the time when we can do little service of your charan seva, massaging your like feet. I'm missing the Harikatha from you, like from your lotus mouth. Missing those days when you leave, and we used to sing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So by mercy, once we want to have your mercy, because of your mercy only I can get the service or Paledasi of being the servant of Srimati Radharani. Shama Sundar Sikhan Shikhar Smer Has Murli Manohar Radhika Rasik Mam Kripa Nide Swapriya Charnam Kim Kinkaru. Hey Srimati Radharani, give me the mercy to be your Kinkari, the maid servant of your beloved. Go Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpudra Kripa Sindhi Patitana Pavne Bio Vaishnava Bio Namo Namah.
Vinay Krishna, that was so beautiful. And there's a couple of things I'd like to comment for you. Firstly, you mentioned, and I feel the same way, and I saw your wife laughing, the idea that I'm loved by Gurudev more than anyone else. But at the same time, you know everyone else is loved by Gurudev more than you simultaneously. How can that possibly be the case? And I feel like that with the programs. Yashadari and I often compare notes as to what we experience. And every week, it seems to get better. But if you said to me which was better, this program or the first program, I would say they were both better. So this must be something of the quality of Gurudev, that he can bring out this achintya, ever freshness in all of us. It's quite extraordinary. And at one point when you were speaking, I was quite overwhelmed by how much seva and how much heartly intent there is collectively amongst devotees. It's quite overwhelming to feel it. No one's doing anything for money or for position or anything. Everyone's just here because they love Srila Gurudev, and we can find love in each other and love each other and respect each other through that beautiful commonality. Which brings me back to the first point, which I really relished. I thought you got a very beautiful balance between telling us what the qualities and the Siddhanta that Gurudev came here to establish, and you combined it with personal experiences. There's a really nice balance. And I particularly appreciated this whole integration between Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, because I feel that 2021, and we have to remember, we're actually honoring Srila Prabhupada's 125th appearance day, as well as Srila Brahma Maharaj's 100th and Gurudev's 100th. Guru Shakti is one, Guru Tattva is one. And it's not like one has more ras and one has more tattva. They all have everything. They all come to give something different, a different emphasis.
Yeah.
They're an amazing team. And can we mute that, please? Yeah, they're an amazing team. And when we as devotees bring them together in our hearts, this is where the whole Vaishnava community globally is going to come into its own. When we finally realize that Prabhupada and Gurudev and all Guru Tattva and all Parampara is one beautiful, incredibly powerfully and empowered flute for Lord Nityananda's energy, and ultimately Radharani's Hladini Shakti. And I felt that you really touched on that very powerfully. So much appreciated. Thank you. So we don't have to move very far for our fourth speaker, waiting there very patiently, very sweetly, Krsna Kamini Didi, who is Vinay Krishna's wife. And she met Srila Gurudev in 1999, took Harinam without clearly very convinced very quickly. He stole her heart in the same year. And she took Diksha at the same time as her husband in 2001 in Badger. So Krishna Kamini Didi, thank you so much for joining us. A very warm welcome. And please feel free to share your heart. Haribol.
Thank you so much for introducing me, Prabhuji, and giving this opportunity to share my personal experiences with Gurudev. So,
sorry, Didi, we can't hear you quite so well. Maybe you need to move slightly.
Okay, Prabhuji. So I just wanted to thank Prabhuji for introducing me and giving me this opportunity to share my memories with Srila Gurudev. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of Paramaradhitam Gurudev Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtotashat Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Same respectful obeisances unto our entire Guru Parampara and to all the assembled devotees. Dandavat Pranam. We've all heard these words so many times from Srila Gurudev. Brahman Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. So can't believe my good fortune that I am that Bhagyavan Jeev who by Radha Krishna's mercy got such a bona fide spiritual master like our Srila Gurudev. And by Gurudev's mercy, I'm able to or trying to follow that rarest path of Radha Krishna's Prema Bhakti under guidance of our Rupanu Guru Varga. I have heard from so many of my God brothers and God sisters that they have been through so much to get spiritual masters, bona fide spiritual masters like Gurudev or Prabhupada. So I personally feel that I'm very fortunate that Srimati Radharani actually facilitated very easy entry for me. I'm lucky to get married to my husband, Vinay Krishna Prabhu, who was already a Krishna devotee and Gurudev's disciple when we got married in 1999. I think that Gurudev is like Mahaprabhu, who freely distributes Harinam and Krishna Prem. Because I had no qualifications to be Gurudev's disciple, but Gurudev still mercifully accepted me as Krishna Kamini Dasi in 1999 when I first met Gurudev. Although I was like born in an Indian family where Radharani Krishna were prayed daily, we used to have like 3 times Aarti and Bhoga offering in my home. I have seen that from my childhood. I was still bereft of like one-pointed devotion. My family would sometimes also pray to Shivji or Ganeshji on certain days of the week and year. So what to talk about Radha Dasyam, that is so high. So I did not know any glories about Radha Dasyam until I met Gurudev. Gurudev mercifully instilled that bhav, that prem in my heart and showed me the path. And most importantly, he showed the or taught me the process of establishing relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm so thankful to Gurudev for accepting me as his disciple and for holding my hand to come out of this material bondage. Gurudev actually made me understand why human life is so important and special. What should we be doing with this human life? And that Krishna Prem or Radha Dasyam is the ultimate aim and object of this human life. And Bhakti, the Prema Bhakti is the only way to attain this goal. So if I wanted to come out of this material bondage and this repeated cycle of birth and death, Then Gurudev told me that there is only one way. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam. Kalo Nastev, 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 Gatir Anyatha. It was Gurudev who introduced me to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although I was born and brought up in India, I had no conception of Mahaprabhu. So by Gurudev's mercy, I got to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that he is no other than Sri Radha Krishna themselves actually. And that of Mahaprabhu's instruction, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, son of Nanda Maharaj, he should be worshipped along with his associates and abode, Sri Vrindavan Dham. And that most pleasing form of the service to Lord is what is done by Vraja Gopis, especially Srimati Radharani. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless authority for everything. And that the pure love of God is the ultimate goal of life for all jivas. Gurudev is like so merciful. His like affection and mercy knows no bounds. I was completely neophyte, not knowing anything about Prema Bhakti, but he always treated me like his own daughter from the moment we met. He would always inquire, just like any parent would do, that do you don't drink milk? Have you eaten your prasadam properly? Because I was like very small size when I got married to him. I was like 78 pounds, 35 kgs actually that time. So I have made like some very beautiful personal memories of Gurudev. I always remember of that funny incident when Gurudev came to Aghre Prabhu's home in Virginia in 1999. So like usual, Gurudev asked me if I had eaten my prasadam. And although I said yes, Gurudev still instructed Krishnadas Prabhu, Krishnadas, go get her a bowl of watermelon. So Krishnadas Prabhu responded, oh Gurudev, this Krishna Kamini Dasi Didi, she is so fortunate. You always ask her for eating more, even if she doesn't want to eat. And you prohibit me from eating. That is not fair, Gurudev. So Gurudev started laughing very loud. And he said, Are Krishna Das, look at her. She's so small. I'm worried that she will faint. I have to take care of her. And look at you. You have gained so much weight. No, you cannot eat. So I also remember another incident, like when I was getting my first initiation from Gurudev. So after Gurudev gave me my mantra and taught me on the process of doing mala jap and doing my anek, he asked me whether my husband Vinay Krishna Prabhu takes good care of me, and also told me that if he doesn't or if he troubles you at all, just come to me. Tell me, I will take care of him. You do not need to be worried or scared of him. So I know my Gurudev is here. I know my Gurudev is eternally there in Parajagat also, but I really miss him. I pray for Gurudev to manifest, give me darshan, so I can complain against him. Gurudev, please give me your darshan. Gurudev is so humble, so humble, so merciful that he also agreed to come to our like very small sized home after festival in Lake Washington. So Gurudev knew that like when he's going to come to New Jersey, a lot of devotees from East Coast are going to follow him, and it is going to get very crowded because that was like a very small home and it will get very loud. Gurudev had to take like a very long flight same day in the evening, but Gurudev did not worry about all that, and he came to our home because he knew that it's going to be very pleasing for us and for all the other devotees in East Coast who are planning to see Gurudev, that he wanted all his children to be happy. He mercifully gave me some of his prasad seva sometimes actually. So I remembered I once cooked like karela, some chana dal parathas with few other preparations for Gurudev. And surprisingly, Gurudev loved the preparation and suggested that I should make the same preparation next day also. And he even blessed me that I should serve Lord with nice preparations every day, and all my anarthas, all my faults will be forgiven. I pray to Gurudev to please give me prasad seva for Lord and for himself in every life and birth that I take here or anywhere in this world, Gurudev. Once like during annual festival, again like I was along with some other ladies. making or doing some prasad seva in Vimla Didi's kitchen, because that's all I'm capable of. I cannot do a lot of sadhana and bhajan, but mercifully I can do some prasad seva. So all the ladies, they were cooking and singing bhajans in Didi's kitchen, and Gurudev happens to pass by. So he was like very happy to see all his daughters engaged in bhojan and bhajan service for Lord, that he blessed all of us. He even promised that he will take us to Golok Vrindavan. He will take all his daughters to Golok Vrindavan. And I know, like, my husband and other.
We were also there. So we asked Gurudev, what about your sons? So he started laughing. He said, I will take my daughters. He didn't say about the sons.
For sure, no, Gurudev loves his daughter more than he loves his sons. Like, Gurudev always says, like, don't be hopeless, don't be weak. But I'm still very weak disciple of Gurudev. I have no confidence in myself or on my own sadhan bhajan, because I'm very incapable. But I know my Gurudev, like, will take care of me. He will not leave my hand. He will guide me at every step. So I know it's not going to be in this lifetime, but because my Gurudev is so merciful, I know I will reach my destination. It may take millions of births for me to attain what I have come here for, but I will reach my destination. Gurudev, I pray for the day when I will forget my identity as this gross body, and I will sing this bhajan by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ji. Dekhite, dekhite, bhulibo kabe, nija stola parichaya. Dekhite, dekhite, bhulibo kabe, nija stola parichaya. I pray for the day when I will realize my inner swaroop as the maid servant of Srimati Radharani, and can truly practice your most important instruction, Gurudev. Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhaktir uttamam. O Gurudev, I sincerely beg for your mercy. I take your ashray. Please give me strength so I can do some sadhan bhajan and I can serve Sri Guru Gaurang and Vaishnavas with sincerity and pure heart. Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol, Jai Jai Srila Gurudev. Vansha Kalpatrubhesha, Kripa Sindhuvebhya, Patitanam Pavnebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namah.
Krishna Kamini, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. I feel like I really need to taste your prasadam.
Please, Prabhuji, you're so welcome. I will be honored to have you here.
I'm kind of relishing it already vicariously or virtuously, but in virtual. But I had an intuition. There's this muffin story that I've known for many years. I don't know if you know the muffin story, and I'm wondering if you made the muffin, because there's this amazing muffin story where a lady, and I know the lady is of Indian ethnicity, that's all I know, gave Gurudev a muffin that Madhav Maharaj said, no, you cannot eat. And Gurudev said, oh, no, I'm not going to eat it. I'll just look at it, you know? And so the muffin was on his tray all day. And then they took the tray out to clean it that night. And they realized when they cleaned the tray away that Gurudev had spent the whole day taking everything outside the inside of the muffin and left the outside intact to trick Madhav Maharaj, which I always think is really funny because it's like what he does with our hearts. Physically, we may not change, but he does that with each and one of us. So I'm just wondering whether you're the muffin lady.
Prabhuji, I'm not that muffin lady, but I remember similar incident. Like as I was telling that once I made chana dal paratha for Gurudev. So Madhav Maharaj said, oh, no, Gurudev, you cannot have entire paratha. It's not so good for you because it has that wheat flour and all. So you shouldn't be. He gave Gurudev like half of the paratha I had given. So Gurudev,
as Madhav Maharaj went inside, like Gurudev took the other half and ate the other one first.
I've heard that story. I've heard that. Yeah. We should compile a book just of Gurudev prasadam cheating stories. It's so beautiful with Madhav Maharaj. It's just fantastic. And I have to say, watching you both, you know, the testament to good devotees are happy devotees. And you have just happiness beaming out of both of you. And it would be rude to me to ask you how old you are, Didi, but But Vinay, how old are you?
I'm 49, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
And
you
she's
both look so
44.
beautiful.
I'm 44, Prabhuji. We are married for 22 years.
Yeah, just
I wasn't
completed
gonna
22 years.
ask, but I cannot wait to taste your prasadam and be under your beautiful shelter. That was such a beautiful sharing.
Anytime,
New Jersey, Prabhuji.
anytime you guys, anyone coming from New Jersey, please, yeah, let us know. Yeah, we will be honored.
Beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, that was just an incredibly delicious relishing of Harikatha from 4 wonderful speakers, Sundaranandan Das and Sudevi and Vinay Krishna and Krishna Kamini. Thank you so much for making our afternoon so special. I also noticed, by the way, I don't want to embarrass anyone, we have someone in from Suriname in South America, which is amazing. I saw a very long number with a 597, looked it up, and that's Suriname. So we have someone from South America beaming in. I love it when the wonderful thing about Zoom is it gets us together from all over the world. Doesn't matter where we are. Gurudev has no interest in countries or ethnicities. He's all heart. And that's what I think the downsides to Zoom that we can't physically associate, but the big upsides that we can associate in another way. It's very beautiful. So thank you very much indeed. Such a beautiful, beautiful session. I'm going to hand over to Yashadari.
Thank you, Yashodananda Prabhu. Firstly, thank you, Vinay Krishna Prabhu and Krishna Kamini Didi. It was just incredible. And Didi, when I was listening to you, I felt like I was there observing you with your pastimes, just as an outsider looking in. And watching your relationship with Srila Gurudev is so beautiful, and just really grateful. And like Yashodananda Prabhu said, I'm definitely going to be someone that joins him in coming to have prasad at your house, hopefully.
But I'm going to eat all your prasadam, Yashadari. I'm going to steal all your prasadam.
Yes, Yashodhara Didi, you know that you are my daughter, correct? Yeah, because she says my parents as her like grandparents. So in that sense, she's my daughter.
So Yashodananda Prabhu, don't worry, you have nothing on me. I made it before you. A mother always feeds their children before they feed guests.
But not if the guest is a thief.
So thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully we can bring you back and you can share some more memories with us as well. So that'd be great if you can. So we now are towards the end of class, and so there's a couple of announcements that we want to make. Firstly, the first one is that like every class we end, we just ask that if anyone can come and share any stories or memories of Srila Gurudev with us, you feel inspired, please contact myself or Yashodananda Prabhu, and please come and share some memories with us. If you have any suggestions of anyone that we could go in contact to invite here, please also bring them. Please get in contact with us and we will also invite them to come and speak. So that's my first request and announcement. And then the second one is we're really, really super excited to announce that as Srila Gurudev's centennial year comes to and starts on the 11th of February for the UK, as we are doing a 55-hour global glorification where we're getting devotees from around the world to come and share some memories of Srila Gurudev. So we are getting devotees from India, Russia, Germany, France, New Zealand, Australia, America, Canada, you name it. We're trying to cover China, South America, Bolivia, Brazil, etc. So we're trying to cover the whole entire world, and we want to invite everyone to come. So anytime from the 10th, it starts on the 10th UK time 3 p.m. and finishes on the 12th UK time 10 p.m. So hopefully anytime that you log on to we'll send out the links, so please keep an eye out for the Zoom links that come about. You will also see this hold on, I'm just going to share my screen. You will also see this poster. Hold on, can you see my screen? Yeah, you'll also see this poster on Facebook and many different social media sites. Please come and just share that with everyone, and also that will, just so that you know what it looks like, you will know that that's coming from the team and the 55-hour global glorification. Have I missed anything out, Yashodananda Prabhu?
No, that was perfect, Yashadari. We just have one more announcement, which I'll make on the calendar. The Zoomathon, by the way, just for clarification, because some devotees hear things in different ways. It's live, it's totally public. Anyone is welcome. It's all over the world. It's continuous. It's actually a yuga first. It's not just never been done this century. It's never been done this yuga, because I don't think there's been a Zoom this yuga until now. So it's fantastic. Great way to bring the whole world family together. And one final announcement, which will be distributed again through the WhatsApp group, is there's a beautiful 2021 centennial calendar designed by Kalimba in Northwest America. And there's a gentleman, I forget his name, apologies, but he's based in Mexico, who's basically, what you do is you email her, you tell her where you live, and then he'll adjust the calendar so that every festival, whether it's the Kadashi Acharyas or any Avatar festival or Janmashtami, Radhastami, is all bespoke for where you live, and you'll get a calendar in your email box in PDF that you can locally print. It's free. Donations are accepted, of course, but it's totally free, and we'll also distribute that later today or tomorrow for your spiritual benefit. Hare Krishna.
Also, one more thing, sorry, just with the global glorification, it will be live on the Facebook page Gurudeva Memories 2021. So for anyone that wants to follow that page on Facebook, please do. You'll get the notification that we've gone live, and you can just click on that. It will also be on my Facebook page live as a watch party. So either way, please come and join our wonderful global glorification. So I think Radhika Didi is there. Radhika Didi. If she's not, then I don't think Radhika Didi is there. Ram, are you available? Wonderful, thank you. Sure, thanks.
Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari Gurudev 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 Jai Gurudev Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol 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 Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol